Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I have the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro with me today. This is the second Hubsan Zino Mini Pro that I've had. The first one had some issues with the gimbal and so forth and some other problems. So what I'll say is Hubsan stepped up to the plate. They just sent me a whole new unit. And I flew it out at the Snake River Canyon and had some success with it. However, one of the things that I wanted to check was the obstacle avoidance. Haven't done that yet. I've seen some recent videos of people checking the temperature of the drone and so forth. With my previous Zino Mini Pro, every time I tried using it with obstacle avoidance on, I got a couple of different anomalies. I got a video anomaly where the video played really compressed and it made you look like you were in fast motion. It was very odd. And then also it would not, the drone overheated very, very quickly and shut off video and shut off obstacle avoidance. So I'm over at the school next to my house. It's a fairly mild day today. I just looked at UAV forecast. It's 78 degrees out, mild winds. So it's not like it's an overly hot day. It's late in the afternoon. We do have the sun somewhat overhead here. So anyway, let's just put this guy in the air and let's check that out. Let's check out that obstacle avoidance. I've got a tree in front of me here and there's grass. You can see there's grass in front of it, so I'll try and come at it from the side and so forth. And if we do happen to miss and the drone hits the tree, at least it'll fall on grass and not pavement or concrete and maybe survive. And then the other thing that I want to check out with it is when I was out at the Snake River Canyon the other day, I had a sudden disconnect with the drone when I was in tracking mode. And the problem with that was the drone did as it should, went into return to home, but return to home wasn't where I was at the time. So I had to go back and catch the drone and so forth. And I will say this, I had no control over the drone. The controller would not control the drone in any way. Now, had I cycled the controller off and on, maybe I would have regained signal. I didn't try that. I tried plugging and unplugging the OTG cable and I was able to get the app back. However, I still could not get control of the drone. So that's disconcerting. So we want to try that and see how it goes. And again, that was with this one, the second one that Hubsan has sent me. So let's just try it out. And in fact, I want to say I did communicate with Hubsan and told them about that. They asked me to try it again out in the open field like this, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's quit messing around. Let's get this bird in the air. Let's try out some obstacle avoidance and try out a little tracking. Hey, okay, so I've got the drone and the controller and the app fired up. It did ask for a compass calibration. We did that, so let's take a look at the status list. And again, we still have that yellow warning on the left. Let's see, and it's telling us we'll get 48 megapixel shooting sometime later this month. So upgraded maintenance of the server, some functions such as account login, so evidently we won't read through all that. Let's see, use the original power cord, etc. So there must be some people having problems with the charger. Remote controller is connected, aircraft is connected. There is the firmware package, and as you can see, all of the calibrations report in as normal. So we're good there. And we can't set any camera settings until we take off. So let me get out of the way here and let's just go ahead and take off. And although now it tells me, now I'm going to tell you this, it's telling me ready to fly on the app, but on the screen, the LED screen, it's telling me we're in ATTI mode. We've got 11 satellites, so let's go ahead and take off. And it's telling us that we're not in obstacle avoidance mode. And now I've got 13 satellites, so We're in GPS mode. Let's go into the camera mode, and we want to switch to video. Sorry about that. Go click in that again, and yes, we're in 4K 30. Click on the 3 dots. White balance, I'm going to lock that. I had some problems. I'm going to set it in manual, and we're just going to leave it at the 4700 that it's at. That looks okay. And then let's go back. Memory card capacity, I wonder, I think, you know, what I need to do is, because that still has everything from my last flight on there, I'm going to format that even though we have lots of room. Yeah, so that's what it is. You cannot format the card while it's in the air. So let's format the memory card on the ground. Formatting. So that was the issue. Learn something every day. Okay, and we're already in recording mode. Let's double check that again. And white balance is locked. Okay, that's what I wanted to check. Okay, we're going to start recording now. Sorry for all that earlier, guys. So let's go straight up and fly it around and give the so we give the CPU a chance to cool off here. I'm going to back it up, go straight up. And let's go on a little flight here. Just a little short flight, and then we'll bring it back. Let's cool down that CPU. And we're in normal mode here. I apologize that I didn't do my usual manual droney, but yeah, that's just not going to happen today. We're kind of in an area where it'd be a little tougher anyway. So you can see that CPU temp dropping. We were there hovering for a while, so I want to give this thing the benefit of the doubt. Let's fly it back to us here. And we'll come on back. And you guys can see the spot where I normally stand there underneath that tree. But what I wanted was, let's not go over the top of those folks. What I wanted was to have some place where I was over the top of the grass to try out obstacle avoidance. And now you can see that our CPU temperature has dropped significantly. And there I am down there. Let's drop that camera down. Bring it down in front of us here again. Okay, there we are. Okay, pick up the camera, and let's, that CPU temperature is rising. Let's start obstacle avoidance. Forced open, it always gives you that. And let's just back it up here. Well, heck, as long as I'm hearing it beeping, let's bring it into me. I can tell you that was close, folks. It did not stop. I almost hit the camera. That was dumb. And now it will not move back. There it goes. Now it's starting to move backwards. Yeah, I tell you, I don't know. Let's move it over again. Let's go in front of this tree here. So we started recording with the Go 2, I believe. Yeah, it appears to be recording. I'm going to leave this controller down and open, and let's back the drone up here. And what's interesting is I've got it in full reverse now, and it's struggling to back up. So there's literally nothing behind it. Full reverse. Okay, there. Yeah, it's confused. It doesn't know if something's in front of it, behind it. I'm holding the stick full down, and it will not reverse. It thinks there's something behind it. Let's go this way. Yeah, I don't know what to say here, folks. So let's go sideways, see if I can line it up with the tree here. I'm gonna get behind the drone this time instead of in front of it. And let's go slowly forward towards the tree. Yeah, there it stopped. And I can't go in reverse and I can't go forward. Oh, there it went forward again. I don't know what to say here, guys. There it backed up on its own. I did not touch the controls there and it reversed. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I am. Let's put it into film mode so it's slower, and let's see if we can move forward here. Yeah, and it won't move forward, and I can't move backward. It's slowly moving forward. Slowly moving forward. So I can't go in reverse. Well, now it's going reverse a little bit. Okay, let me line it up with the tree again. Make sure I'm lined up with the tree. It's hard to line it up perfectly. Okay, let's move forward again. Yeah, now, yeah, it's not sure. Oh, and then I had it reversed and the drone is actually moving forward. Yeah, gosh, I'm not sure. So you're watching the drone move around there and I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching the controls at all. So it's kind of struggling here. Let's see if we can back it up. I'm holding the stick full down there. It started to back up a little bit. Let me line it up again. Well, it's hard to, it's hard to line it up, I'm telling you. Trying to get it right in front of that tree. Ooh, it's moving too far forward now. Okay, guys, enough is enough. It was moving towards the tree. I'm getting it out in the open here. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna go straight up here. I'm just gonna tell you that obstacle avoidance needs some work. And you're gonna ask me if I've calibrated this. No, I have not. So what I'm gonna ask you is, why would it be necessary for me to have to calibrate obstacle avoidance on a drone direct from the factory? In any case, that was a little nerve-wracking, but I will tell you, it seems to be coping with the heat a little bit better here. Let's go ahead and go back into normal mode. And let's fly around a little bit and let's see what that does too. We haven't had overheating that we saw with the other drone, where it shut down when it was in obstacle avoidance mode. It shut down. So obstacle avoidance definitely slows down the speed of the drone. Let's bring it back to us. And again, I want to emphasize, I did not do a manual calibration of the obstacle avoidance on this one. I wanted to see how it would do out of the box. And what I'm going to tell you is, I'm not sure, why do I have to, right? Why on a new drone should I have to calibrate the OA to that extent? Because clearly this one is wonky. I mean, it's not. It's definitely not what it should be. So let's bring the drone towards us, and I'm trying to line it up here. And that's me letting off, because it just, yeah, I mean, I don't know, we're higher up. Let me drop some altitude. It should see me here. See it? I mean, I think it would run right into the camera. I've got the camera standing right there. So gosh, guys, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We are going to turn off obstacle avoidance. We're down to 58% battery. Let's see if it can track us a little bit here. And this isn't an ideal area. I would much rather be out in the open. So we're going to go over to the in the open grass area and track over there. So I'm going to land it and we'll take off from over there. Come on, landing mode. There we are. Okay, so it's shutting down FPV. That's a good thing. Okay, let me grab the camera and everything, and we're going to go just over here by on the other part of the school here, and we're going to try tracking and see how it does. Okay, so we've got everything fired up again, and it's indeed giving me the ready to fly. I'm going to take just one more quick peek to make sure. It says everything's normal, not asking for a compass calibration, so we're going to switch to video mode. It is forbidden to take pictures. Won't even let me switch till we take off. So let's do a manual takeoff this time. Make sure you can see that on this GoPro. You can. And I need to start a screen recording. I just remembered here. So let's do that right now. Starting a screen recording. And back in the app, and it's indeed staying ready to fly. So now, one of the things on this drone to do a manual takeoff, you go down and out with the sticks rather than down and in on a lot of other drones. So down and out, and that fires up the motors. And then let's go ahead and take off. Left stick straight up. And as usual, we get a good, nice, stable takeoff. This thing, Hubsan has done so much to improve the stability of their drones. This is impressive on this particular drone. Okay, we're going to switch into video mode again, and we're going to, well, let's go look at our menu again. I just want to make sure everything's right. And white balance, wow, it's at 7100. That is awful high. So we're going to go into manual and we're going to drop it down. Let me see. I'm trying to look at the screen here. Well, we're going to leave it at about 6100. So that was a big variance in white balance from what we saw earlier. But that way one thing we know is white balance won't be changing while we video here. So let's go back, if I can hit that back button. And yeah, grid lines are on, style is natural, and you saw the white balance. Bit rate, we've got it at 100 megabits. So let's go ahead and start recording. And we are recording. Let me spin it around here. We're in normal mode. Obstacle avoidance is off. That was kind of an interesting little obstacle avoidance experiment that we did earlier. So let's bring it in here nice and close. We weren't able to do that before. And I'm going to see if I can start my head cam here. So I think I have that go-to started, I hope. And let's just do a manual droney here. Let me get it pointed a little bit, and we're in normal mode. You know what, let's throw this baby in sport mode. Let's do it right. Sport mode, so this one will be a quick one. So reverse and up now. And it's moving, man. I love the noise of that drone when it's moving like that. Yippee-ki-yay, that was me dropping the camera down. Okay, let's go on a quick flyabout here. And there is our our favorite cell phone tower. Boy, and I'm sorry, that was me messing around with the yaw there. It's a lot more sensitive in sport mode. So let's go full stick forward, right over the top of the cell phone tower. And that parking lot is where we were at before, and you know, that was not the most scientific obstacle avoidance test, but it worked. And one thing about it is this gimbal seems to be pretty darn stable even in sport mode, which is saying something. Okay, let's get turned around here. I'm kind of easing off the sticks. Let's see how fast we can get it back to us here. So I'm going to kind of move sideways here, and let's kind of aim out into the center of the field. And I hear an aircraft, but he is way, way to the north of us. So full stick forward here, and let's see how fast we can get this baby up to. 14 meters per second. It is screaming. Let's see if we can get to 15. Right by us now, and boy, it's cool to see that drone screaming by. So I wasn't looking at the screen there when I was looking up at the drone, so I didn't see potentially how fast we went there, but hopefully we got close to 15 meters. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to bring it in, and we're going to try some tracking. So I'm going to go back into normal mode, and we're going to try some tracking. So I'm going to grab the camera here, and we'll bring it down, bring the drone down, and we will put it in tracking mode here. And let's just see how we do. Got it coming back towards us here. Dropping in altitude. So that ought to be about right, and we're kind of faced into the sun here, so this will be a good test. So we've got an open enough area here that we should be okay. So let's and I'm holding the camera at the same time here, the GoPro. So let's go into following mode, active track, and I'm going to draw a box around myself there. We got the go. And again, last time I did this, I was out at the Snake River Canyon, and I lost control of the drone. The controller just lost complete control. And it seems to be following me fine here. And again, what I wanted to do is I wanted to try this in, it looks like we got some folks taking advantage of the school's dumpster over there. Huh, interesting. Yeah, so I saw my go-to on my head just vibrated, so that tells me maybe it shut off recording, I don't know. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to get too distracted here, but I think it's interesting when people use other people's trash. That's not right. I used to, when I was a working man, we had a dumpster in front of our garage. I was a transportation manager, and it was a truck garage. And it's weird, the neighborhood knew exactly when the trash pickup was going to come, and we'd come in the morning and it would just be filled with old couches and furniture and people's trash, you know, the day after it got emptied. And so we struggled sometimes being able to manage our own refuse, because people in the neighborhood would use the dumpster. And that's exactly what's going on right here. Okay, so that was a little adventure, and you know, I think it's all in the way you approach people. Yeah, so it lost us there. That's okay. Let's see if it'll find us. It says it's searching, and I'm right in front of it. But let's let's do this again, and let's click go. And sorry about that that interruption, but I just thought it was worth checking. You know, the more I thought about it, the more I'm kind of thinking, well, if people are illegally dumping, that kind of makes me mad. So I want to do something about it. So we're having no problems with tracking right now. The drone is tracking us perfectly. And I'm looking at the CPU temp, and it looks good. You know, we're in the 60s centigrade wise. So, okay, so let's try then. Let's stop tracking, and let's go into that active track, I should say, and let's go into the GPS track in following, which to me, I don't care for it as much. It's then following the GPS on your phone, so it's harder to keep you in center of frame. So let's see how well it does here. So it's keeping us in center of frame, good. Yeah, actually that's not too bad. So, well, there, as soon as I turn the other way, yeah. I mean, the drone is following us. No, slowly. Okay, that's what I don't like about GPS follow me. So let's stop that, and let's go back into tracking here and following mode, and we're going to do active track, and it's got me, and hopefully we're high enough here that that we're not going to pull the drone into a light pole or trees or anything. How high are we? Yeah, 7.1 meters. Let's see if we can raise an altitude and see if it'll still keep me tracking. Yeah, it lost me, but we should be able to get it again. Okay, let's click go. Okay, and mind you, that was me changing the altitude of the drone. So I've got us high enough here that it'll miss all the obstacles around us, and that's what I was concerned about. What I didn't want to do was pull the drone into a tree or a light pole or something like that. So yeah, I would say tracking is successful so far. So I got the GoPro back on the tripod. So so we've done that. Target was lost, so let's hit stop. We've got hyperlapse and line fly. I've demonstrated that with this drone. You know, one thing I've never done is waypoint mode. So let's do some waypoint planning here. I'm going to get the drone higher in the air. Make sure that I'm well above everything here. And we are going to do just a little waypoint mission. So cool, it brings back the, brings up the map here. And so let me get in tighter here. And we are going to draw some waypoints here. So we're going to put spots. So I'm clicking on that, that little pencil that's got the spots on it. So we're just going to do something very simple here. And let's just do one more, and it should be right in front of us. And let's see if I can remember. I think if I click on the waypoint, can I set the parameters of it? Yeah, I'm not sure. And we could also set a point of interest. So let's do that. Let's set a point of interest right where we're at here. So that should, well, look, see, that just looks like another waypoint to me. Yeah, I don't know. And I definitely called it a point of interest. I don't know. We're going to find out. Let's submit. And as soon as I click done, it should start here. Done. So the drone is turning around. And now what I'm going to ask you, there we go. That's how we get back into, so clearly what I did there is I just added another, I thought I was adding a point of interest, and I didn't. Let me pick up that camera. I'm manually picking up the gimbal here so we can see where we're going. And it's moving right through its waypoints. I've got the map back up here so you can see it. And so, you know, it's got the home point there. We're at number 4, going to number 5. And then number 6 should be kind of above me here. And like I said, what I thought I was doing was setting a point of interest, but maybe I didn't tap on it enough. I don't know. We still got 50% battery. We can mess with that some more. So let's go back out of there, normal mode, and let's back it up again. And let's try this one more time, guys. So I'm gonna go back into Waypoints and Waypoint Mission Planning. And yeah, so we're good to go here. So we're gonna draw, and we're just gonna hit points. So I'm gonna go a little bit more distance this time. We're gonna put the first one right over here, and the second one over here, third one here, and then the fourth one back in front of us. And let's, like I said, I know that there is a way to set these things up, and I'm not, gosh, I thought you simply clicked on the waypoint. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's how we do it. So the hover time, let's give it a 2-second hover time at each area. Finally got that to come up, and let's go up in height at 1. So that should be good. Let's go to 2, and we're going to go down to about 45 on that one. Hover again for 1.3 seconds. 3. We're gonna let's go up a little higher on that one. Almost max legal. We'll hover for 1.3 seconds. And let's at 4. Let's just leave it at 30 meters. Well, maybe a little higher. Let's go 35 roughly. There's 35 meters, and we don't need a hover time there. So yeah, okay. So that's how you do that. That's the first time I've ever done that with a Hubsan drone. So can we select a point of interest? I don't know. Let's try that again. So I'm going to say, click on point of interest. Whoops. I accidentally moved the map. Point of interest, and if I touch that, can I set another one? Yeah. Okay, so it set the focus there. We're gonna leave the focus where it's at, and while we still got some battery to do this, let's hit submit. Upload successful, and done. Okay. And the drone is on its way. So it's ascending, and it's heading to its first waypoint. We'll have to mess around with it some more and figure out how to get rid of that area that we put as the point of interest to focus on. So I can't remember how high we were. We were pretty high, and now it's heading to that first waypoint. Yeah, it looks like it's changing its point of interest here. Okay. So I kind of wondered if it would change the, you know, the camera itself. Where are we at here? So we're almost to the first one. So now we're at the first point of interest. And it should pause there for a couple seconds. And it's keeping the camera right where we told it to. So you can set a point of interest for focus. And as I recall, yeah, we were dropping in altitude on this one. And it's almost to the second one there. Show it on the screen recorder. And there it is at the second waypoint, and it is continuing to hold that point of interest. And now it will fly to the third one. And how fast is it going? It's going about 4 meters per second, so that's pretty good. And there we are on our way to, excuse me, number 3. And yeah, so I mean, you know, I don't know, the camera is kind of looking, that is not exactly our point of interest, so I don't know, that's me dropping the camera down there with the gimbal. So let's just leave that camera down and see what happens here. So we are at number 3, and it'll pause for a second and go to number 4. So it should be on its way to number 4 right now. And it doesn't seem to be changing the angle of the drone much, so yeah. So I don't know if that, yeah, we're almost to number 4 there, which in theory should be almost in front of me here. And it's moving along, again, at 4 meters per second. Waypoint mission complete. Okie dokie. Well, it kind of, I don't know, that the point of interest, so maybe that point of interest was just for one of the waypoints, I don't know. But anyway, that's something to experiment around with more. That was fun to mess around with. Okay, let's go ahead and hit return to home, and let's see if we can get a precision landing. So I'm going to hit return to home on the app. Okay, so this is what I was looking for the other day. You can give it a return to home to the control device location when you hit return to home, but I wonder if there's a way to set that in the menu, and you'd want to be able to do that when you were tracking. So I should have seen this the other day when I was looking, but that to me is the only way to do it that I can see so far to do it. So let's click return to home. So if you were, in fact, and let's turn off that beeping by holding down the function button, and the drone is not messing around. We're at 30% battery. Let's see if we can get a precision landing. It executed the waypoint perfectly. So it's a ways off, searching for drone apron. Oh, there it sees it. Okay. So we may get it yet. And that was me dropping the camera down. Now, I don't know if the drone would have done that automatically or not. I can't remember. Let me make sure. Yeah, we'll see this on, yeah, we've got it on the GoPro. And it's moving around a little. We got no wind, so there's no reason that it shouldn't hit it. And it picked up the camera. It picked up the camera itself. And, you know, as you can see there, it's a little bit in front of the, landing pad. 2 legs on, 2 legs off. So, and it gives you that warning that it shuts down FPV. Okay, we've got that. Let me shut everything off and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, so I'm faced directly into the sun here, so I'm probably going to squint a little bit. But yeah, so the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro, I think we kind of had a little bit of a mixed bag here. with this testing. Obstacle avoidance, God, I'm telling you, I just didn't trust it. And you know, you saw what I did there. Was that me being a little bit tentative? Yeah, probably. But the controls were just weird. There were times when there was nothing behind it, it wouldn't back up. Other times it wanted to just go forward right into in fact, I had one close call where it just went right over the top of the camera, and you know, where I thought certainly it would have seen an obstacle there. In any case, so it was interesting. The positive thing is the drone did not overheat. It did not overheat and shut down obstacle avoidance in video. I have seen that in the past when you're hovering around doing that kind of stuff. Now, the other thing I need to add is I have not, on this drone, calibrated the obstacle avoidance sensors, so maybe I need to do that. I wanted to try it out of the box and see how it was, so bear that in mind with what you saw. So I will do a calibration and try it again. Okay, so the rest of it was way more successful. So when we moved to this location and we went out here and took the drone out and tried tracking, very successful in tracking. I think it lost me one time or a couple times. Once when I was moving the drone around, so that was kind of understandable. I was raising it in altitude. Another time when I was walking over, I was talking to some people that were cutting up a bunch of cardboard and putting it in the dumpster here, which, God, the more I watch, the more I'm going, oh, holy cow, is that somebody just dumping or is it legit? Well, it turns out it was a lady that's a teacher here, so totally legit. She was getting rid of her classroom stuff. No worries there. And so I don't know how much of that will leave in the video. You guys will have seen it already, so then you'll know. But tracking wise, let's get back to the drone. Tracking wise, it did great. I had no problems with the way it tracked. You know, I didn't have that issue where I lost connection like I did when I was out at the Snake River Canyon. No connection issues on this flight whatsoever. We did a couple high-speed runs. They came out pretty good. Getting back to that tracking, we tried both active track and GPS tracking. They both worked great. The problem with GPS tracking on any drone is it's not necessarily going to keep you in center of frame, whereas active track will, because it's optically locking onto you. And of course, I was just walking around. I wasn't on a bicycle or anything else, so if I was moving faster, would that make a difference? I don't know. But it seemed to work pretty good. And then finally, we had enough battery left that I decided to try some Waypoint missions, and I think we were very successful. The first one worked great. You know, clearly when I was trying to set the point of interest on that first one, that was me I thought I was setting a point of interest and I didn't. And then the second time we tried it, we had the drone going a lot further and changing in altitude, and I just evidently was not holding my finger on those POI points enough. You can change the altitude, and you can change how long the drone pauses in that position. And I did set a point of interest. That seemed a little weird to me. It didn't seem to me like the drone was always pointed to that focus point. Now, that focus point that I set, what I'm not clear on is, was that locked onto just one of those waypoints? It could be, I don't know. Maybe I might have done that wrong. So I'll have to mess around with that some more, and we'll try that again. But the Waypoint mission itself worked great, and the drone did exactly what it told, going up and down in altitude as we instructed it to. Then finally, we did our landing, see if we could get a precision landing. Close, but no cigar. 2 legs on, 2 legs off. You know, there was no wind here, so there was no reason that it would get blown off of the pad. So, you know, I would hope that it would be a little bit more accurate than that, but you know, it got there, so that's all that counts. Anyway, I guess that's it. And then finally, we always want to judge the video on this quad. There's been no updates since the last time I used it, but in any case, that's about it. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I really appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, And of course, we'll see you on the next one, the Hubsan Zino Mini Pro. Let's hope that they keep pumping out the firmware and improving this little guy. See you later.